Hello everybody, it's your boy N here. I'm coming at you guys with another YouTube video. So, in today's video, let's talk about Enzo. So, Enzo, previously, or at least in the last video I made on him, kind of looked like this. You'd want to build him into duration and relying on his passive, along with tactical acceleration, and also with the setup that looks something like this, along with the 2 pieces of the Ascending Armory tree and also 2 pieces of Shell Crusher. Now, I did this because Enzo's passive, despite giving what it gave, was genuinely just not enough to give Enzo enough DPS to make his skills 100% viable for basically everything. Now, with this as well, Choco, thank you so much for the raid. I need to fix my notifications, but Choco, thank you so much for the raid. You caught me in the middle of a video, bro. I appreciate you. You might want to pay attention as well, because I know you don't care about this anyways, but we'll still talk about it. So this is what the tree for Enzo used to look like as well. This is still a completely valid tree, and the weapons haven't changed, or anything else hasn't really changed anyways, so Enzo still looks the same from that front. Amid, blabs are muted, don't waste your points. With Enzo now, the only thing I'd say is that has changed is his build has changed due to the change on his passive. With his passive, they've given him a 60% crit damage increase, which means now it's actually worth being at the 100% crit passive. Is it fully worth it? I would still say not really, and you still have to deal with this horrible passive. Now, they have mentioned that they are changing the passive with him, and they're going to make it easier, along with also making compressed bullet consume less ammo as well. 1 cost per shot works a lot better, so this is something we're also going to talk about as well. But for time being, focus fire. Let's have a quick look at that. With this, it's got a crit damage increase as well. So now for the build, the changes, you're going to want to drop focus on singular in favor of range for expansion, and then amplification control will be put on top of maximized conservation. We will be using tactical strike now as well for DPS. For our comps, we've changed over to the mage set because DPS, and now we also used an old school DPS tree. We've gone with defense neutralization just because it does work out kind of well. You can use non-attribute cohesion and stuff like that too, but basically that's the main change with Enzo. With the gameplay to match for this, let me just quickly pull some of it up. With Enzo currently, at least, I would say he still falls into a category where he feels odd to play because of his passive, and having to renew his passive mid-run genuinely feels bad. Like, it genuinely feels ass. I know they also gave him a instant reload, so when you put the weapons away in your inventory, it will automatically reload your weapons, so you can just keep cycling your weapons that way. But if you want to keep them in your hand, you use the second ability. Now, this is what happens when you think you're good at the game and you start reading chat immediately whilst you go straight into the mobs. You get your shit absolutely rocked. I'm gonna die in like 2 seconds now because I wasn't paying attention. Was I not? No, I'm pretty sure I die. Yeah, I die. I wasn't paying attention. So that's what happens when you don't pay attention. Hyperion, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you, homie. So once I do start paying attention, this is what we do. We activate our 4th, we activate our 3rd, and we activate our 2nd, and we basically just run and jump around with the Thunder Cage to activate it. If you look at the little number on the side of the screen, or on the side of the weapon, it will tell you how far the weapon is to being ready to be activating the passive. And once this Malevolent is already fully done, I wasn't paying an eye, keeping an eye on the weapon number. The passive has kicked in now. With this kicking in, I make sure to activate the 3rd ability for a DPS buff, as well as the 1st ability for a DPS buff. You need both of these active, and as you can see now, my passive turret is hitting over 1 million damage a tick, which doesn't even include me spraying my 2nd ability. When it comes to the 2nd ability as well with Enzo, holy grail, you hit easily over 3 million damage a tick on these mobs. Once I do decide to use it, you'll see in general that it does swipe very, very easily. I will also pretty much show you the I'll also show you the DPS there. Boom, 2-3 million a tick, and it can wipe a horde out. You do want to focus on range as well as mobbing. Survivability with this build is not the greatest, I will be very, very clear, so you definitely need to learn how to play Enzo in order to be able to use this build effectively. But yeah, over here, we're just going to keep going in terms of the phases and stuff like that. But Enzo genuinely feels okay now. His passive still needs to not force 3 weapons, which is something they said they will do. But as of time being, this is okay now. The damage on his skill damage build is actually good enough to the point where you can use Enzo properly, and it will work out fairly well. Let me just skip ahead about 20 seconds over here. Where's my mouse? Skip ahead 30 seconds over here just to do this bit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the ability does decent here. Do I even use it here? I don't, I'm silly. Yeah, let me skip ahead to the bit where I actually use the ability. So, with his second ability, this phase over here, onwards, even melting the boss with his turret is fairly fast. He is in a okay state now. He still feels clunky as hell to play, and to be honest, I don't know why they worry about what Enzo has to offer when Serena and when Serena and Bunny can offer you nuke the entire world in 2 seconds. So Enzo is in a little bit of a cooked position, so that's pretty much that. Yeah, it's still cooked. You can see here just melting, and this is the good example of his second ability over here. So I use that, I use his second ability, wipe that horde out, and then I'm just like, you know what, there's no point in playing this game, just use his second ability, nuke the horde, second ability, and I wasn't paying attention. I forgot one mob behind me, so I have to look back, confused, second ability. But Enzo's second ability basically works really well to actually deal skill damage, so now he's a viable option. This entire breach tracking took me like just shy of 6 minutes because I stuck with Enzo, so that is that. Then that's his main change with focus fire. When we have a look at his other build, that being the not the gun lines with reinforcement, not that one, the compressed bullet build, the ammo on here has been changed to be less ammo a bullet, so again it feels okay to actually do this now. It's still 2 a bullet, which is going to be adjusted, they said, so yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. Just changing with this genuinely feels cooked. Even with his 4th ability on, it's not going to get you very far. Once his passive does kick in though, same story, you just use his you still just use his 1 and his you still use his 4 and his 2, but with this it's for gun buff, so you get more DPS on your guns instead of skills. So yeah, that's pretty much it with Enzo, and this one is also based off shield, so yeah, keep your shields up basically. The rest of the builds on Enzo haven't really changed as much, and if you want DPS for your guns, this is kind of how you get it. Tactical acceleration is still the best, and this build hasn't changed at all, so the only build that's actually changed is the focus fire one, and every other build with Enzo is the same and still feels weird. But this pretty much concludes everything on Enzo. Step in the right direction, I guess, but I don't think it's enough. They need to actually fix this passive, because when you force your player to have to accommodate for a booty cheeks passive, and the passive isn't even as rewarding as it should be, yeah, it is cooked. And even the main thing is passive. A passive ability should be something you don't have to focus on going. They did also add instant storage reload, so what you can do now is shoot a weapon, change to the next, and then change back to that weapon, and it is auto reloaded. But is it enough? Not really. That's honestly the truth in my opinion. But anyways guys, that's been this video on Enzo, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, please do smash that like button, and if you are new here, please do consider subscribing. I make plenty of videos on the First Descendant, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.